Hey guys, I'm White Ferret and here's the story of how my overscoped prototype became a unique parkour speedrun game in 6 months. When I started to develop High Runner 6 months ago, I wanted to make something big and amazing. I wanted to make a crazy parkour game. It should be the next Mirror's Edge. It should have everything. Great parkour mechanics, minimalistic but beautiful graphics, an interesting story, animations, cutscenes, voice acting and so on. I opened a new Unity project and started coding some parkour mechanics. It was all looking good. After maybe 1 week, I had all things like jumping, wall running, grabbing edges, pulling yourself up on edges and so on. But I already started to realize that I set my goals way too big again. Not long and I thought about quitting it, but I had my folder overflowing with unfinished and abandoned projects. I wanted to finish a real game this time. I had to think about how I could shrink down my vision so it would be doable for a solo spare time developer. Therefore I replayed the Mirror's Edge games, which were my main inspiration, and thought about what I liked most. I found that I really enjoyed the time trials in Mirror's Edge Catalyst, where you just have a starting point and a finish point in this open world and you have to find the fastest way yourself. It was a cool mix of exploring to find the fastest path and then perfecting your run on this path. I decided that this was what I wanted. So I sat down and started sketching out a rooftop level, which I thought offered different paths, where it's not too obvious which one's the fastest. I built it out in Unity, added a cool skybox, and made all the surfaces reflective, like in Mirror's Edge. Then I added a timer and an online leaderboard, so the game could be actually speedrun and hit build. After about 1 month of work, I released a little gameplay demo to see how people would react to it. I think the game had only like 4 people playing it back then, but at least there was one comment saying the game had potential, which really encouraged me to keep working on it. I started adding some new mechanics like sliding, did some polish and then started adding some first person animations. Unfortunately, I quickly realized that I really suck at animating, and just slapping in some pre-made animations also didn't really work. I had no choice but to scrap it all again and go without animations. I also had to scrap the 2 new levels I made in that time, because they simply weren't feeling good. So I went back to the drawing board to create a new level. This time I focused on what I really wanted for the level, and after some fine-tuning and testing the level, it started to feel pretty good. I slapped on some tree models, as well as a new UI, and decided it was time to get people playing again. This time I got about 20 people playing the alpha version of High Runner, which was quite a huge success for me. We actually started a little speedrun competition on the Discord server, which was a lot of fun. It ended with me getting defeated in my own game, but I realized that this game was actually fun to play and maybe would work out when I would release it. After the alpha version, I also received a lot of feedback on the game. Many of the things were easy to implement, like making the camera a bit less shaky, but there was one thing that wasn't. People were complaining about the levels just looking wide and similar everywhere, which made it boring and hard to orientate, and I realized I felt the same way about it, so I needed a new idea. I didn't have the resources to make realistic graphics like in Mirror's Edge, so I had to think of something different. After a lot of thinking and a few frustrated walks through a forest, I had an idea. What if I just did pixel art textures for the building? That would be easy to make and hopefully would still look decent. As fast as I could, I pixeled a little texture, threw it into Unity and was surprised how well it looked. At this time, Lombrix, the guy who did beat me in my own game, actually offered me help with the pixel art. He did a really great job and made some awesome textures for High Runner, so I could focus on other aspects of the development again. After spending a lot of time developing some level design tools, I finally made another level, which I feel really good about. And that's where I'm at right now. In the last 6 months I went from nothing but a crappy prototype to a decent looking and unique parkour game. The next step for me will be to design more levels and polish the game. If you're interested in High Runner, you can check out the teaser trailer I made recently and follow me on Twitter to get regular updates on how it's going. That's it for today guys. If you have any feedback or questions, write it in the comments and I'll hopefully see you in the next devlog soon.